What do you say we start the show there, Raymond?
Sounds great to me.
The Simple Mind Sports Show, that is. We'll start off with opening take. Seeing as mine is still boiling around in my brain, deciding which way to go, why don't we kick it over to you for your opening take for these Friday headlines?
Thank you, Richard. This week, Steph Curry is now the all-time three-point maker in NBA history, and people are announcing and saying that he is the next GOAT, and he is one of the best basketball players of all time. And I say, nay. No, sir. He is just a great all-around shooter. That's all he is. If you were starting a franchise today, he would not even be in my top 10. This guy is just one of the best shooters in the NBA, and that's it. Give him the tip of the cap. That's about it. But don't announce that he's the GOAT or one of the top 3 players of all time. Please, just stop that nonsense right now.
He's got to be up there. He's got to be on the list. He's got to be in the conversation because a couple things, 3 things. Number one, he's not just he's the best shooter in the NBA. He has to be crowned that. He's the best shooter in the NBA. Though in the history of the NBA, the way that okay, enough said. You know that. Number 2, he transformed the game the same way Jordan transformed the game.
He meant ruined the game.
Well, we think he ruined it, but for the kids, he transformed it into what the NBA is today. And 3, he's won a lot. He's won a lot. These aren't empty
with
shots.
Klay Thompson.
Well, this
Kevin
is why
Durant.
he's not. This is why I'll give you he's not in that stratosphere of Jordan and LeBron and Wilt and and Kareem and the conversation of who's the greatest basketball player of all time. Steph can't be there because he can't carry a team the way those other guys did, the way that he played, and just because he's a point guard and he's small. No point guard in the history of the NBA has been able to do that. And I'll give you even Oscar Robertson, who's probably the best point guard in the history of the NBA all around. So yeah, he can't be in that category of GOAT because he doesn't have the skill set to do it. But greatest shooter, one of the greatest players of all time, transformative figure in the NBA. Yeah, he's in that list. He's in that top, whatever, 5, 10, whatever, wherever you want to put him, we can have that conversation. But yeah, no, he's not in the Jordan conversation. Absolutely not.
Bill,
okay.
What's your opening take?
I'll go with my opening take. I really don't have one. So I'll kind of repeat what I said on the Wednesday show a little bit because I fucked up releasing that. And I don't know how many people actually got to listen to it. And it'll be football regarding the Patriots and the AFC. And if you listen to sports radio around Boston, you would think that the Patriots have mopped up on the likes of the Jets in every single one of their wins this year. And based on last weekend, it made me change my mind. Going in from that 6-7 game win streak that the Patriots are on, I thought, yeah, a lot of that, those teams were not the best in the NFL. But then last weekend, the Chargers showed me something. The Ravens were competing with their backup quarterback. The Colts were obviously still there, but the Browns won. The Chiefs came back to life, put up 48 points on the Raiders. So, my point is the league is what it is. And those AFC teams that the Patriots have beaten are the representative of the AFC and they're mostly the representative of the league. I mean, you want to put the Bucks and the Packers above those, fine. But even at this point, the Rams and the Cardinals, I think you can bunch up with those AFC teams. It's just an inconsistency across the league. And the fact that the Patriots beat the Chargers, the Browns, the Bills, you have to give credit to the Patriots and just say, you're at that top echelon. You're a top 5 team in the league, like we've gone over, based on the schedule that you've played. And I think that over the past couple of weekends, the AFC has kind of proved that based on the way that a lot of teams have played. Number 1, the Chargers. I didn't think the Chargers were that good. I thought that they might have been on that in that list of dead teams that the Patriots make dead, and the Browns too. And they've kind of hung around. Exactly. So both those teams have kind of showed me something, that they weren't just layups that the Patriots killed. They've been sticking around. In Tennessee, how could I forget Tennessee? They're back too. So, I just think it's a representative team, and we will wait and see what the Mac Jones show is all about. Let me give you Bill's headlines or opening take. The Patriots will come out throwing the shit out of the ball in Indianapolis. Market first play 5 wide. We've seen that before from the Patriots. the fact that for 2 weeks, all we've heard was they didn't let Mac throw the ball. All he got was three pass attempts. They will come in Indianapolis and he will throw 50 fucking times just to prove somebody wrong. If it lets them win, the Patriots win. I mean, so watch out for the Mac Jones show. Comes Saturday night, prime time Saturday night in Indianapolis. Show rundown. Of course, we'll be talking about those Patriots Colts game on Saturday. Are there 2 games Saturday? Is there an early game?
Yeah, Raiders Browns.
Raiders Browns. Oh, it's gonna be shitty. Okay. Well, we'll be talking about the Patriots and the Colts for sure. Obviously, we'll be taking a look at the Celtics. They looked like a top 4 team in the East. Good for you, Ray, for putting that in the email. Wow, that's big of you. That's big of you. Eat that cookie. Click clack. COVID is back, hitting the sports world hard, hitting all of the world hard. And where the fuck is this coming from? By the way, we can get into it. I don't think we want to get back into the science of COVID.
China.
The Bruins. Everyone has COVID protocol. Fuck. And we'll talk about the simplest mind of the week. Hint, hint. You might be from Jacksonville. Other than that, this is the Simple Minds Sports Show Friday headline, December 17th. I'm fucking nailing dates. Welcome to the show.
Happy birthday, Irene.
Today's Irene's birthday?
The 17th is her birthday. Yep. Young gal. Tits out.
I can't get my shirt off because my hat's on too tight. But if I could, I'd be shirts off for the show. So happy birthday, Irene. And if you're watching on YouTube, I apologize, but please subscribe, rate, review. If you're listening on the podcast, do the same. Subscribe, rate, review, and please tell your friends. Share it amongst the masses. And as always, we are both representing the same hat, which is kind of dumb. We look like
idiots.
Tenors. Yeah, idiots. Simple Minds. That's
what's a tenor? Isn't a tenor a guy that does a cappella?
Yeah, but they wear like the same outfit. That was the joke.
I don't have a Canadian tuxedo on.
Okay. How'd you know what pants I'm wearing?
You're a jeans kind of guy. Oh, those sweats?
Well, they're jeans.
Oh,
they're stretchy jeans. My wife bought them for me.
Because you're fat.
Yeah, I'm fat. If you want to get fat too, head on down to the best craft brewery in New Hampshire, National New Hampshire. Ray, address, please.
460 Amherst Street.
That's White Birch Brewing, the good side of Amherst Street. Get on down there, slug some calories, whatever, in your choice. Triple IPA, sour, porter, whatever you want. It's a good beer drinking season. Get on down there, watch some football in their tap room. If you can't get down there, get at your local beer store, wherever you get it. Tell them the Simple Minds boys sent you. White Birch Brewing. Patriots Colts, Raymond. I'll start with your questions because I know you wrote the email and I'll go through them. But let me just ask you, is this now? Oh, God. Well, I don't know why you shave your head.
No, I don't either. Go
on. Is this now after we've gone through the Wind Bowl in Buffalo, was that the greatest test or is this the greatest test or is next week against Buffalo the greatest test for the Patriots?
Next week against the Bills. At home against the Buffalo Bills. That will be a prove-it game. That will be the deciding factor for the AFC East. That will be for everything. That next week's game is the big one.
Okay, tell me why the Colts are not the big one. Why are they not as much of as an opponent as the Bills or as
because we killed them many years ago when they first did Deflategate, and since then Bills had a vendetta. I believe we've won the last 7 meetings against the Colts. They haven't beat us since about 2009-ish.
2009, 4th and 2.
Yep. So that's the last time the Colts actually competed against the New England Patriots. So yeah, this is a joke franchise. They're going to do nothing. They're going to try to run the ball down our throat. It ain't going to happen. Carson Wentz is a boob. This is going to be a joke of a game. Patriots roll. That's what I think. And that's why I think the Bills game is going to be a bigger test the following week because now we're going to have Josh Allen, no wind problems. He's going to be able to air it out. He's going to be able to run as long as his turf toe lets him run. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think Bills Patriots is the one to watch out for.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you on the bigger tests. The Bills are going to be out for blood, certainly. But if the Patriots win, it doesn't matter. If the Patriots beat the Colts, that Bills game doesn't really fucking matter. As long as the Patriots take care of business against the Jaguars in Miami, they'll have the division. So just win on Saturday and you're good. That being said, I like that you go straight to the Homer nostalgic factor that the Colts have not won in 12 years against the Patriots, which is kind of pathetic when you had not arguably, the best quarterback recruit out of college football since Peyton Manning in Andrew Luck. And the last time you were competitive, you walked in here in the AFC Championship game and lost 45-7 with deflated balls in the first half, inflated balls in the second half. Didn't really matter.
Didn't matter.
And now you're back to in contention. And yeah, so to answer your question, so I'll read off a couple things that you have here. Obviously, the Patriots are going to focus on Jonathan Taylor and that running game from the Colts. Jonathan Taylor leads every rushing category going into week 15. He's got 1,348 yards, 5.6 yards per carry, and 16 touchdowns. That offensive line is one of the best offensive lines in the league. Everybody believes that the Patriots will go into this looking to stop the run and make Carson Wentz beat them. I was texting with you and Bill the other day. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I would expect to see kind of a game plan like we saw against Tennessee, where they give up 5 or 6 yards per carry. Hopefully not the big one. Hopefully not the 70-yarder for a touchdown. That's probably not in their game plan. But they are going to defend against the play action pass and the big play and let Jonathan Taylor run up and down the field from 20 to 20 and then make Carson Wentz beat them in the red zone. That's been their strategy for a lot of years. They've won a lot of football games that way. You just have to then rely on Mac Jones in the offense not to kick 5 field goals and maybe get a couple touchdowns out of those red zone possessions. Do you agree or disagree or are they going to stack the box with 8 guys and let Carson Wentz beat them?
I believe they're going to stack the box. I think Bill's going to put it on Carson Wentz's hands, which I don't think he can do. He doesn't have the receivers like he used to have. Indy doesn't have the receivers like they used to have. T.Y. Hilton's old and a shell of himself. Zach Pascal is another one that's been leading the way, but it's not the same. Or
Pittman.
Pittman is also a big guy, yeah, but they don't have the receivers. I mean, J.C. Jackson's probably going to go one-on-one against Pittman. You think?
Maybe. I think they'll go zone. I think they'll probably play a lot of zone.
Switch a lot, but I just don't see that one breakaway talent guy that's going to be like, oh shit, if this guy gets a lot of receiving yards, we're done. I think Jonathan Taylor's the guy that Bill's being like, shit, if he gets 200 yards, we're fucked because A, they're going to run out the clock. They're going to have time of possession all day if they have a good running game, and B, he's just a fucking beast, that guy. Jonathan Taylor is just a goddamn beast. And if you can slow that down, the momentum of the game slows down, take the crowd out of it, and I think the Patriots will wrap it up like that.
Yeah. I don't think that Bill, I don't think their defense is afraid of Jonathan Taylor running them out of the ball game. I mean, they'll let, as long as they don't score touchdowns, they'll let them run for 300 fucking yards.
But yeah, but the time of possession, if you don't have the time of possession, you know how bad that's going to be, especially on the road.
Well, so then now you have to rely on the offense. Like I said, so Bill's quasi my opening take. I will not be surprised at all if the Patriots come out with their offense throwing the ball around. Now, are we going to see a 2007 Patriots offense throwing the ball around? No, of course not. You got a rookie quarterback back there, but we've seen him throw for 300 yards. We saw what he did against the Browns. The Colts passing defense is middle of the pack at best. They're good at turning the ball over, but this Patriots team is good at not turning the ball over. So what does the Colts defense look like where they can't get an interception or a fumble and they just have to get a stop? Can they get a stop? Can they get a big stop? Can they stop 3rd and 6s, or do they rely on turnovers? I think that they're susceptible to some passing plays, and I think the Patriots will take advantage of that. And I think that's the game that they want to play. I think they'll let Mac throw it. Of course, Stevenson's going to touch the ball. Is Harris deemed in or out yet with that hamstring?
Still questionable.
I'd be surprised.
He was at the facility all during the bye week, like getting treatment and working out. So
I'd be surprised to see a lot of Harris, honestly, with a hamstring like that. But Stevenson is, certainly more than capable of handling the load. With that being said, if you're down a running back the way that they've been playing, then even more reason to throw the ball a little bit. So if you can throw and you can, collect the lead, or you can score some points, whether it's a lead or not, if you can score some points, let Jonathan Taylor run up and down the field. It gives a fuck. But again, that is relying on your offense and relying on them to get into the red zone and score some points, which has been their problem this year so far. I think they'll move it up and down the field, but I don't know. Your point here is this a showcase for some McDaniels trick plays, which we saw a ton of in the first half of the season? I would say, yeah. I think that this is a perfect time to showcase some trick plays in a dome on turf, perfect conditions. Let's see another Jacoby Myers pass. Is he throwing the ball a lot this year? Maybe once or twice.
I don't think once this year.
Kendrick Bourne threw the one to Aguilar, right?
Kendrick Bourne did, yeah, but not. It hasn't been Jacoby Myers at all.
Let's see the college quarterback huck a couple, yeah.
You're going to see some end rounds, I guarantee you, to get Kendrick Bourne involved early. I mean, especially if Damian Harris is a no-go and you're relying on Brandon Bolden and Ramadama Ding Dong Stevenson, because I believe J.J. Taylor's out with COVID. So, therefore, you're going to see a lot of trick plays. You're going to see the end around. You're going to see some funky lineups and formations. So, it's going to be an interesting game for sure with McDaniels at the play calls.
Yeah. Other than the Jonathan Taylor Thomas on the Colts, Pittman's a big-time playmaker. So let's go back to the defense real quick. T.Y., Pascal, Pittman. Who's their tight end? Bill would know. There's a
Jack Doyle.
They throw their tight ends a decent amount, but Pittman's the big play guy.
Mm-hmm.
You think we see bracket cover like a classic bracket coverage? Now, the rest of the league has been playing single high safety on the Colts, stacking the box, and never going away from it. That's what we saw with the Bucs. That's why it was a 38-35 game or whatever it was. As soon as the Bucs did not go away from single high safety, stacking the box, they let Carson Wentz throw the ball a little bit. And although he had a fumble, 2 interceptions, they still put up 35 points.
But that Bucs defense is atrocious.
Their Tampa Bay secondary is atrocious. And I just don't see the Patriots being that dumb. Like, I don't see them stacking the box with a single high safety and going one-on-one on the outside with Michael Pittman Jr. That's not going to happen. Like, they're either going to like I said, they'll let Jonathan Taylor run for 200 fucking yards and not let Pittman beat him on a 60-yard bomb. They like playing single high safety in New England. They switch it up. And you should expect to see a lot of that. But if it's a passing situation, they won't do that. They'll give double coverage on Pittman and let J.C. Jackson do his best and don't let him beat you. Yeah. You know, that I think that you'll see a lot of that from the defense. What I don't honestly think the Colts are going to put up much of a fight. Do you?
I think the Patriots are going to have a really big early lead, and that's just going to take the whole wind out of their sails, and I think it's going to be game over early. Like second quarter, 7 minutes left. It's probably going to be like 20-0, and it's just going to the whole building's going to have that momentum's gone. Everyone's not going to be interested. It's a very boring stadium because they're not very football knowledgeable there in Indianapolis. I've been to a game there. A lot of pink hats in that stadium. The only time they show up is when that team's good, and if this team starts getting rocked early, that the stadium's not going to be interested at all.
How much stock do you put into the Hard Knock stuff? So the Colts defense basically put out their game plan that they will be stacking the box.
Idiots.
Is it a double a double espionage type of move though? Are they like saying that to make them think they will, but then they will not let Mac Jones beat them? They'll just play a straightforward defense. Or do you think they're just idiots?
Idiots. You? What do you think?
No, they're idiots. No.
Okay, great.
Yeah. No, they're fucking idiots. They're fucking idiots. To come out there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't to go back to my point. Are the Colts going to put up a fight against this team? I just see the Patriots winning handily, not 48-10 or it's not a Jets game type of thing, but I can just see them winning by a touchdown, and controlling the game. Yeah. Now, that being said, the only thing that does scare me a little bit is their coach, the Colts coach, Frank Reich, who beat the Patriots in the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl. That was not Peterson.
He was the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, and that's who beat him.
Yeah.
Brady threw for 500 fucking yards. It certainly wasn't the defensive coordinator. It was the offensive coordinator.
All right,
who do you think called the Philly special? The quote-unquote illegal Philly special? Frank Reich. Was it Chuck Peterson or Jacques Cousteau, whoever the fuck his name is? That guy flamed out. He was the first guy to lose a Super Bowl and be gone in a year or a year and a half. He was out of there. No, Frank Reich is the real brains behind that. that offense and what they were doing.
Offense. That's it, though. What are you going to do on defense? How are they going to stop Mac Jones in this running game?
I just laid out for you for 15 minutes that the Patriots are going to win handily. I just told you the one thing.
I'm just saying, yes, you might be an offensive-minded guy, but that's not the same defense that you had in New England when you beat us in the Super Bowl. This is a totally different defense. The second best defense in the NFL right now. A legit top 5 defense in the NFL right now. I don't think you can do the same stupid shit that you pulled in that Super Bowl that you can this year with the
I understand. Patriots. You're saying the Patriots defense in that 2017
wasn't
Super Bowl.
The greatest.
No, yeah. This one's probably better. That's true. Yeah. And Big Dick Nick took Carson Wentz's job, so edge him.
Yeah.
Those are some interesting connections. Nick Folk, Carson Wentz, seeing Carson Wentz again. I just don't have any faith in Carson Wentz. I would expect two turnovers from the Colts. If you can stay away from the turnovers, you're in pretty good shape. And I just expect the Patriots to kind of control the game both ways. I don't think that the Patriots will have a lot of success running the ball. I think the front 7 of the Colts is pretty good, but they'll keep them honest. They'll run for 3 yards a carry, whatever, and continue to hand the ball off. But I expect Mac Jones to have a pretty decent game. And it just comes down to the Patriots red zone. If they can score touchdowns instead of kicking field goals, they'll run away with it. If they settle for field goals, it'll be a close game.
Yep, I agree. And
Final prediction, go ahead.
Patriots 28, Colts 20, and Matthew Judon knocks out Carson Wentz in the third quarter.
Ooh, that'd be his third on the season.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to go down with a ligament injury, though. He's a pretty good big guy, so he's got to do the knee or an elbow or something.
Oh, I think he's going to knock him out.
Cold?
Blind side coming from the backside.
I think Carson Wentz is too dumb to be. He's too dumb to be knocked out cold. He's got to tear something.
All right. Well, let's hope for a tear.
Who's the backup quarterback of the Colts?
I think it's Eason.
Okay, stop flicking your thing on the pen on your table. It's making a bunch of noise.
I'm not flicking at anything.
Flicking your mother for her birthday. Happy birthday! I'll give you a final prediction of the Patriots. I got to do my math. 40,
Jesus Christ.
17, 20, 21, 7 to 27 to 20. No, 27 and 19 Patriots.
So I have 28-20. You have 27-19.
Yeah, I'll take the under.
What are we playing? Price is Right?
I don't think I did that right. I don't know what. I think the Colts will score 2 touchdowns. They'll miss an extra point and a field goal. I think the Patriots will have 2 touchdowns and 3, maybe 4 field goals.
What the fuck are you? Dude, I just got confused.
13. No, Colts will be 16. Patriots will be 14, 17, 20, 23. 23.
16.
23-16 Patriots.
Okay.
That's mine.
Did you hear the other breaking news? Well, it's not really breaking news. Do you see who's going to be the guy hitting the thing that they have over there?
I did. Tell the listeners.
That'd be one Adam Vinatieri, who used to play for the New England Patriots but finished his career in Indianapolis, is going to be Jim Irsay came out and said he is going to be the special guest ringing out some stupid thing that they hammer or something, and Bill's mother is probably
hey, come on, Adam. Let's ring it. Let's really shove it in those fucking.
Let's show Donna, man.
We'll show that guy, Bill. We'll show Bill Belichick who's boss. Mm-hmm. Oh, come on, man.
Hey, Quentin, what's up, man?
It's hard to hate on Adam Vinatieri. I always wish that they paid him. Wouldn't it have been cool to see Adam Vinatieri play 20 years for the Patriots?
Side by side with Tom.
That would have been fun. Been fun. He had too much gall. Good for Adam. He went to a sackless franchise and beat some records there. All right. Well, that's Patriots talk. That's Patriots Colts talk. Big Saturday game coming up. So let's go Pats. Before we get into some Celtics and some Bruins coverage, we're going to kick it over to headlines with the obvious one.
Thank you, Richard. The New England Patriots travel to India to take on the Colts, as we've been talking about, at 8:30 Saturday night. As of now, the Colts are 2.5-point favorites. The Celtics came home after a long West Coast trip and beat the Milwaukee Bucks on Monday, 117-103. Jason Tatum had 42 points in the win, Celtics take on the Warriors at home tonight, Thursday, as we record, 7:30. The Bruins got destroyed on Tuesday night against the Vegas Golden Knights, 4-1. Patrice Bergeron was the lone goal scorer for the Bruins, while Jeremy Swayman had 21 of 25 saves in the loss. He sucks. The Bruins next play the Islanders as we record Thursday night. Speaking of the Bruins, 6 players have entered COVID protocol. Swayman, Blythe, Trent Frederick, Brad Marchand, Chris Smith, and Patrice Bergeron, all unavailable.
Bleed. It's pronounced bleed, basically.
Blythe? Bleed. Yeah, whatever.
Blythe?
Blythe? And also listen as we give you our simplest mine of the week at the end of the show. This has been the headlines with the Office Squad.
Welcome back. You're still slamming something on the table.
That was me pushing down on the thing. On the arrow.
So is that on the computer?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we can hear that.
Sounds like me fucking your mother's.
Oh, is she a robot? Also, we do back to basics after this next segment. And this segment is the Celtics that you mentioned in the headlines.
I can never do anything right by you. I try my fucking hardest, and no matter what, you find one little minuscule thing that I did wrong.
Standard, Raymond.
Do you know how hard it is to copy and paste an email and fucking rewrite it? It's very difficult.
Yeah, I did notice that a little bit. Big win for the Celtics on Monday versus the Bucks, the champion Bucks. Here's Raymond's take. The producer Ray wrote the email. These players and coaching staff clearly listened to the noise, the criticism around here. The first play of the game was designed for Brown, specifically Tatum to Brown for a corner 3-pointer, which he made. And it was mentioned how they don't have chemistry. They don't pass to one another. They can't play with one another. How mad, I'll ask you, Ray, seeing as you asked the question, how mad does it make you feel knowing that these players listen to the quote unquote noise that the Jays cannot play together?
Hate it. I wish they would shut off social media. Don't listen to 98.5 or EEI. Don't listen to anything pregame about the Celtics or anything like that. Just ignore the noise. Just play your style of basketball. You don't have to adapt because, they're saying you guys can't play together. You guys don't have as many assists together, which you had Bill had a beautiful thing about Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, only 279 assists all time.
That was me.
Yeah, it was you. I know. I'm sorry. 279 assists all time to each other. So, I mean, everyone's making a big deal that the 3 assists this year, it's not a big deal. These guys are scorers, so they're not really facilitating for one another. They're going to the basket and score. So ignore the noise. Just that's part of the problem with this team. They're babies. They're the millennials that just get very aggravated by the noise. And I just wish they'd block it out and just play their style of basketball.
Okay. So on the surface, I agree with you. I think that they are mentally soft. And they have been. It's been one of their biggest problems, if not the biggest problem. And a lot of that comes from their age and the way that they've come up in basketball and AAU. And, a lot of old heads talking about this right now when it comes to the NBA and this turn of, superstardom as LeBrons and the Currys kind of cycle their way out. The Tatums are cycling their way in. And, we thought LeBron was bad. Good God, are these fucking kids sensitive? It is because their phone is their hand and they're looking at Instagram and Twitter and they're seeing all the clips and seeing what bad things people say about them. And they don't actually listen to the show, like the criticism. They just see the headlines and then they get all pissy. Mm-hmm. In the Bucks game specifically, I don't agree with you. That play was not a Tatum drown. That was a Jaylen Brown's been out for 5 weeks. Let's get this guy going. Let's get him the ball. Let's get his legs underneath him.
Tatum to be the guy to give him the pass.
Well, sure. And if you watch that game,
was designed?
They both passed each other the ball like 50 fucking times. It actually got a little bit annoying that they were kind of listening to it. But you know what? It was the right plays. They were playing the right way. So maybe the media know how to do it better than these fucking 23-year-olds. So maybe they should be listening to them. Maybe should be listening to them if they know how to do it because they played at their ceiling against the championship fully, except healthy. For DiNcenzo, whatever his name is, fully healthy Bucks team, and they owned them. You got to watch that game. It was defensively and offensively. The way that the Celtics played was really, really, really good basketball.
It was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. The offense, the ball was slinging around. People were getting open shots. And that Jaylen Brown to Jason Tatum connection, each of them should have had 4 more assists to each other if either of them could hit a fucking shot. And that's saying a lot because Tatum finished with 42 and Brown had 19. So it's not like they sucked, but they missed like every shot they passed to each other and they were all open. So yeah, it was interesting to see how much they focused on that, but fucking good, Ray. They should be passing to each other, the best players on the team. But to that, you made that point in your opening statement, the Curry to Steph thing. Yeah. Klay Thompson has whatever I sent you.
He was like 279.
200 something assists in 7 years to Steph Curry, which amounts to 0.223 assists per game in their career. And people want to make it this grandiose ordeal that the Jays can't play together. And I've been telling you now since the bubble, since I got old, and since the underachievement of 2020 and Jason Tatum's lackluster effort in that year, which we can maybe throw out. They're just young. They just don't know how to play the game of basketball the way it should actually be played. They've been relying on their athleticism and God-given skills up until this point, and now they're learning how to play the game. It happens to everybody in the NBA. I went ahead and looked this up illegally. I put myself in danger on the highway because I was looking things up, Googling it on my phone as I was driving because I was in the car so fucking much. I looked up Antetokounmpo's time in the league and Steph Curry's time in the league before they actually made it and what their teams were before. Both their teams went from like 13th in the conference, then to 6th, then to like 5th in the conference. And then they finally broke through in year 6. In year 6, Jaylen Brown's just in year 5. Tatum's year 4. You just like, and you can already see the strides. Like, so I don't want to be a green teamer and stop pushing the panic button, but you got to let these guys mature. And I think Tatum's done a fantastic job this year of maturing. We'll see if he can take the next step, but the Jays are the least of your problems on the team. Trade Marcus Smart. Trade Dennis Schroeder. We can, if you want.
So now, are you saying everyone except for the Jays is on the block?
I would not trade Horford. I think if you want to compete this year, like if you actually want to make the playoffs and do well, people want to throw Horford into all these deals. He's your best low post defender. Unless you're getting a guy that can play defense in the low post back, then you better not get rid of Horford because you got nobody else that can do that, and you're going to get smoked. Embiid's going to smoke you. Antetokounmpo is going to smoke you. All these guys that can play down low are going to fucking crush you. Horford's that guy. I get his money works for a lot of dudes, but I'd figure out something else. So Josh Richardson makes about the same amount of money as Horford.
So Horford and the Jays, untouchable.
I mean, Horford's not untouchable. Like if you're getting some back,
obviously you get something great back, but right now,
yeah. Like, look, if you want to go get a third piece, so the Pacers are blowing it up. Miles Turner, Sabonis are out there. I like both of those guys on this team. Put a package around Robert Williams. He's your best young asset. Mm-hmm. Him, 2-3 first-round picks. Marcus Smart for the money. And a Nesmith or whatever fodder you want to throw in there as young NBA talent down the bench of the Celtics, that's your deal. And if you can get someone to bite on that, then that's what you should go for. Dennis Schroeder for a team that they think that maybe he can be a starting point guard for them, that you could sell someone on. That's something too. But
Lakers.
Well, he didn't sign with them, so good luck to LeBron. You have here, Raymond, that you like Jaylen. Jaylen looked good, 10 and 42. You liked how they looked on Monday against the Bucks, and you asked, what didn't you like? So what do you have to say about that?
Obviously, like you said already, the overpassing to one another, trying to make an example of, oh, look, we do get along. We do make the extra pass, and we're trying to get each other points. That was just a little frustrating. And how they let the Bucks back into the game in the first half. I mean, they were rolling in the first half, and then all of a sudden the Bucks just made this giant fucking comeback, and I didn't like that at all.
I mean, the NBA champion. Basketball's a game of runs.
Well, it's NBA as well. Yeah, it's NBA's runs all the time. Yeah, so I get
generally you see that first half as a second half for the Celtics. So as a whole, I was happy to see them fuck it up in the first half and not the second half.
Oh, of course, yeah.
No, I mean, positive signs. The trick is with the Celtics is you got to do it consistently. Now you got to do it Friday night against the all-time 3-point leader in Steph Curry, who threw himself a goddamn parade in Madison Square Garden when he beat that record.
He cried like a little bitch. I couldn't believe that. He was crying on the court. It's a 3-point record. It's not like you got the all-time points leader. 3 points made. Cool.
Do you know what he is in 3-point percentage in the list? 7.
Oh, 7. I thought
Do you know who's
percentage?
You know who's ahead of him?
This is all time.
This is all-time 3-point percentage made. I have 2 names that are ahead of him. I have the number 1 overall percentage, and I have one name that's funny.
What would you know?
No, the name that ahead of him that's funny is his brother. Seth Curry.
Seth
has a better 3-point percentage than Steph. And the number 1 overall 3-point percentage leader in the NBA all time is Steve Kerr.
Oh, Coach Steve Kerr.
Coach Steve Kerr. So there you go. I have some more stats for you. Steph Curry started his career averaging 8-point-something threes per game. This year, he's averaging 13 threes a game. Larry Bird averaged 0.2. So you can just see how far.
And we thought he was like an all-time shooter of all, like the greatest.
He was. If he was in this game today, yeah, I don't know if I'd take him over Steph. Steph's the greatest shooter of all time. The shit that he does is behind the three is absolutely ridiculous. But we've had this take before, and he's ruined the fucking game. Everyone wants to be Steph, and they're not. Everyone wants to be him, and they're not. It's like Michael Jordan ruined the worst era of basketball, the early 2000s.
Fuck you, dude.
Taking post-Jordan era, pre-LeBron era is the worst era of NBA basketball. Okay, everyone wanted to be like Mike. If I could be like Mike. Allen Iverson wanted to be like Michael Jordan, except he was 6 inches too fucking short, and he couldn't be. And he shot every goddamn shot in the game and wanted to average 32, but he sucked in that role. He sucked in that role. And everybody else on every other team wanted to be that guy, and no one could do it except for Kobe because he had Shaq.
Good luck closing your eyes tonight because that fucking Red Dog's going to be beaming at your house from Queens Landing.
Worst era in NBA basketball history, early 2000s. The Allen Iverson era.
Terrible. No, disagree.
Tell me which one was worse, other than the 50s or whatever.
Right now is the worst.
No,
live and die by 3.
So much fucking talent in the NBA right now.
Yeah, there's talent, but they live and die by 3, and the ISO ball is infuriating to watch.
It's close to early 2000s, but it's not quite. It's not quite. That was so bad. It was so
What was
bad.
your take? What was the thing you sent us that you fucking hung your hat on? The biggest reason why that was the worst. Because USA basketball was the only time they'd ever gold medal.
That was the 4th thing I said. Well, yeah, that team never won a fucking thing. The 2000.
You were pissing me off that night.
The 2004 Olympic team came in 3rd. They got bronze medal at the Olympics. The only team to never win gold. That tells you all you need to know. Tells you all you need to know. Carmelo Anthony won 3 gold medals with these players in the NBA, and Allen Iverson got bronze. That tells you all you need to know.
Did Allen Iverson go?
He went to the
He was on that team?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was like him and Richard Jefferson and I think Vince Carter. Wasn't that the year that he dunked over that 7-footer?
No, they won gold in that. That was later. That was like 2010.
I don't remember. Either way, whatever year they got bronze was fucking pathetic, and that was the worst era of basketball.
Okay.
Now I will tell you what. So your thoughts on the Celtics? Does it give you any hope that the Celtics will get better moving forward, or it's just a wait and see game for them?
It's a wait and see. I mean, it's one time. Like, you know how you have that one sex performance that your wife's like, "Wow, why can't you do this all the time?"
No,
honey, I'm not a fucking machine. I can't do this all the time. So let's see what the Celtics can do.
I'm just used to In and Out, Fast and Fury. I get hurt, and your mother pays me, and I go home. Sometimes it's Venmo, but usually it's cash, and that's good because I get a bagel on the way home, and then
on her birthday, Richard.
It's fine. It's fine. If you're looking for relief, go to backtobasicsllc.com. That's BAK Basics LLC.com. BAK, the number 2, Basics LLC.com. I knew I'm missing something there. I'll say it to you again. BAK, the number 2, Basics LLC.com for all your CBD remedy needs. Dr. Tom is your guy. He's the one that you want to be talking to. With every order you make on backtobasics.com, you get a free sample. You also get a personalized email from Dr. Tom for you guys to talk about your CBD remedies, whether you want to sleep better, whether you want to ail some ailments, we want to shut up a stupid dog. They got it all. Yeah, they got pet products there. They're genius. It's an absolute genius solution. So head on over to backtobasicsllc.com. BAK, the number 2, basicsllc.com for your free sample today. Okay, Raymond, the Bruins have COVID. They all have COVID. Everyone there. Everybody, every single one of them.
There's a slash there. It's very small. You can't see it, but there's a slash between Bruins / COVID.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
They lost 4-1 to Vegas with Martian was ruled out, I think, fucking 12 minutes before the game.
Yeah, like an hour before the game. He was probably dressed, ready to go, and they're like, ooh, you got COVID. Get the fuck
out. 6 more players in health safety protocol. Blythe, is that how you pronounce it? Bluth? Yeah, the likes of Bluth and Blythe are not really, Swayman is the biggest name on that safety protocol.
Oh, disagree. It's definitely Brad Marchand.
Yeah, but he'll be out.
What?
He'll be out soon enough. I was talking about the newest names that
newest. I'm sorry. My bad,
yeah.
girl.
And the NFL are changing COVID rules, so the NHL should change them soon, but Canada won't.
They just changed it.
Did the NHL?
Yeah, they're going to a more strict. It's you get testing every day now. I guess before it wasn't every day; it was every third day. So it's every day testing. What the hell was it? No going out when you go to your hotels. There's no going out socializing. You can't on road trips go out to dinner anymore. You have to stay in your hotel. Damn it! There was another thing. I think did I write down? No.
Yeah, you got it here. All teams personnel required to wear a mask in the facility, virtual meetings, limited interactions at hotels, arena. So they're going back to a limited bubble approach like they had last year.
Which there is breaking news in the NHL. Montreal has just announced that there's no fans allowed in the stadium anymore.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of relapse in the COVID world. 130 players in the NHL and health and safety protocol. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it anymore. It's like an exhausting topic. I don't know what to say about it anymore.
But it's big now. I mean, you got 6 Bruins. Calgary had to cancel games or postpone games because I think they're up to 19 players and staff that have COVID. It's just getting annoying. It's like, when's this ever going to end?
The other thing that, and not to sound insensitive, I think, these professional sports went through COVID for 2 seasons ish now, if you include the back end of 20. I get there's been some athletes that have been sick. Embiid said he was really sick. Freddie Freeman from the Braves said he was really sick. Die. Yeah, so I guess what I was gonna say is not really appropriate. I'm just gonna say a lot of these guys are not getting sick. So when's the next step with the COVID thing where it's like, okay, you do the tests, you tested positive. Let's do a bunch of negative tests. You're asymptomatic. Okay. We think you're okay. Instead of, whatever the health and safety. Yeah. Which I guess, clearly we're not there yet. And, I guess we shouldn't be. So that's fine. And it doesn't, the NHL will be fine. They got a plenty of runway and they can adjust in terms of games played and whatever else. The NFL better be careful because you got playoffs around the corner. So we already discussed this last year. They don't give a fuck. That's true. Players. They don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck. I believe the Browns have a shit ton of COVID outbreak right now because the Raiders are favored on Saturday night.
Yeah, their head coach and their starting quarterback.
And Goodell's like, nope, you guys are playing.
There's
no.
Whatever happened to that fucking threat the NFL made at the beginning of the season that non-vaccinated players who cost their teams a game were going to be basically jail sentenced, by the way. I guess most of these guys are vaccinated, so they can't really.
Well, that was Goodell being like, watch this. I'm going to say this because I'm going to set an example, and they're going to say, wow, what a great commissioner I am. And then later in the season, I'm just going to forget I ever said that. That's what happened.
The other thing I'd be interested in to see if these guys getting sick, if they did get vaccinated or not. Like Embiid, do you think Embiid got vaccinated?
I bet you he did.
Maybe.
There was a lot of those guys got vaccinated because they were getting tired of wearing a mask and getting fucking tested every goddamn day.
No, I know. They basically the NBA said 98% of guys were vaccinated. Like, there's not a lot of players in the NBA, 300 or whatever. So, like, that list of unvaccinated was at like
Kyrie.
Teens. Yeah. Headed by Kyrie. So, yeah, I guess Embiid probably did, and he still got that sick. So, yeah, it's still a fucking scary thing. It sucks. God damn it. It just sucks. It just sucks. But, yeah, this is what we're dealing with now. The Bruins are certainly dealing with it. We'll see what the NHL does. You know, in terms of fairness, making the Bruins play that game clearly was affected by COVID. Whether they would have won or not, regardless, I don't know. But they lost 2 points over it. So that sucks. And then they travel to Canada. Like you said, if you test positive in Canada for COVID, you're quarantined in Northern America, Canada state for 2 weeks. So
no poutine for you either.
No poutine. No poutine.
You just sit in your hotel room and fucking watch. What was that comedy show they had? Kids in the Hall. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. Good pull. All right, Raymond, let's move and end the show on our simplest mind of the week. This week had pretty much one answer, and that was it. Was it late
this morning? Early this morning?
Early this morning, Thursday or late Wednesday night, the midnight firing of Jacksonville Jaguars, ex-Florida, ex-Ohio State head coach Urban Meyer has finally come to pass on the heels of a scandalous report from one-time free agent shitty kicker Josh Lambo, saying that Urban Meyer cunt punted him in the stretching line one day, told him to make his kicks, dipshit. On the heels of that, and a 2-11 season, and just a fucking wrath of stupidity from Urban Meyer, he has been fired by the Jacksonville Jaguars, who still currently owe him something of the likes of $50 million.
Yeah, it's fine. Khan has a shit ton of money. He'll write him a check.
Oh no, they are not going to pay him $50 million.
But what do you think the biggest simple-minded thing that he did was?
Staying after a loss to Browns, staying in
dick grinded on by a college girl.
You're the head coach of an NFL football team. You can't stay back. It was like when we would go on road trips on the school bus on basketball on freezing trips, and guys would want to hang out so they could try and bang high school girls at the McDonald's. Like, no, like get on the bus. Like, how are you going to get home? You get on the
chicken
bus.
Nuggies, let's go. We got to go.
You get the fuck out of here. Urban Meyer. No, I'm going to stick around. I'm not going to travel home after a loss with my team that's paying me $10 million a year. I'm going to stay here so I can get my dick grinded on by some MILF at my own bar. Went to his own bar.
She was not a MILF. She was a college girl. That was a college town he was in.
It was just a gold digger?
Ohio State. Yeah, it was Ohio State. He was at in Columbus, Ohio, right by the university, and he has a bar there, and it was a college girl. She didn't even know who he was, and then her friends were telling her.
Wasn't he wearing an Ohio State sweatshirt?
Loser.
What a fucking idiot. The other things, so the latest, a couple of the late reports, he was berating his assistant coaches that he had done more than them, and
what have you done?
Making them basically recite their resumes at him to prove that he had done more than them.
Cool, bro. I won 2 national championships. Suck a dick.
Yeah.
Next.
That was his answer to everybody.
Yeah.
That was his answer to everybody.
Got any of these? Yeah, fuck you. Go next. Let's go.
Yeah, what a piece of shit. Never mind covering up the sexual abuse at Ohio State and recruiting a bunch of murderers at Florida and then bouncing on each of them.
Hernandez.
And also faking that he had heart conditions so he could get out of that. Fuck that guy. That guy, like, if karma's real, a bus is going to find that guy. Like, just.
Or hemorrhoids.
Severe case of hemorrhoids. That's probably what sent him off on Josh Lambo. Well, Lambeau's got to have an axe to grind though, because he got cut, and he sucked, and he's still unemployed.
Did you hear his comment? Like, he's like, yeah, you know, he called me a dipshit, he kicked me, and that's the same thigh that I missed 12 games with last season. It's like, you fucking pussy, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I listened to his whole interview. Josh Lambeau is,
he sounds like a bitch.
Yeah, that's not the person I'd put on the stand. That's not the witness I'd put on the stand to put the nail in the coffin for Urban Meyer. But thankfully for the Jaguars, that's all they needed to get that guy the fuck out of there. Because you had Trevor Lawrence, you got the number 1 overall pick under the umbrella of this tool bag, of this cretin. Any longer, like, he's just a wasted, like, it's done. He's done.
Yeah. Is that a gig that you would want to go get though?
If I was Josh McDaniels, would you go to Jacksonville?
Anyone, any coach, available coach coming up, would that be a spot you'd want to go to?
I don't know.
Or that's a loser franchise. I mean, a shit city. Yeah, you get Trevor Lawrence, but he didn't look all that great this year.
I have been down on Trevor Lawrence because I think that he is like the NBA and AAU kid that has been kind of handed a lot of things to him, and probably needs a good, really sound coaching to live up to his draft potential in the NFL. Is Josh, like a guy like Josh McDaniels, that guy? Maybe, but does the structure of Jacksonville give that to him? Probably not. So no, probably not, because I would imagine Trevor Lawrence forces his way out of there as soon as he can. So
doesn't sign the next deal after his rookie deal.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, Jacksonville's not an appealing place no matter what.
It needs to relocate. They need to do some serious relocation in the NFL.
Maybe Germany. Kraft is over there.
Ja.
Maybe Germany. Go over to Berlin. Is that a German accent? Sounds British.
Yeah, British.
And this has been a Semi Sports Show. Friday headlines, December 17th. We will.
Irene. You say December 17th today. Happy birthday, Irene.
This has been Friday headlines, December 17th. We will see you on Sunday for early lines, and allow me to end the show saying happy birthday, Irene.
Happy birthday, Mom. Bye-bye. Hello? Can you hear me? Richard?
Yeah, hold on.
No, you can hear me. Fuck you, you cunt. Why didn't you say something?
I said hold on.
Oh, it's you all along. Zoom just sent me like 12 messages saying everything's fucked up. And I said, cool.
So it was you.
That's what I just said.
It was you.
Yes.
God damn. I went through all my shit.
It was me. If you can't hear me or whatever, it's me.
Well, I unplugged something and then I could hear you. So I thought it was me. And then I went through the whole thing.
My apologies, I guess. Actually, no. Fuck that. It's not my fault. It's Zoom's fault. Fuck Zoom.
Yeah, fuck Zoom. How you doing, Raymond?
It's been one of those days, Richard. And yourself?
Yeah, same.
I bought $20 worth of McDonald's today for lunch. Yeah, that's how my day was.
I've been doing a lot of traveling, as you know, these last 2 weeks for work and on the road, trying to be as efficient as possible. I do a lot of the drive-through situation. I haven't eaten that much drive-through in a long time, and it's not good for me. No. It's not good for me.
It's not good for any human. It's not.
It has the reverse effect on me from shitting, though. Like I've been
something?
backed up.
Really?
Yeah.
That was what I was just gonna say. Because as soon as that goes, like if anyone's ever constipated, you just go to McDonald's or Taco Bell and boom, flushes you out.
It backs me. It's
really?
Like the opposite of a regular diet or something, I guess. I mean, my stomach hurts. I'm constantly in pain.
Regular diet. Good one, Rich. Good one.
I'm constantly in pain and just feel sluggish and shitty, but I'm not like full on diarrhea mode that I normally am in. Maybe it's because it makes me feel so bad I don't drink as much beer. Maybe it's the beer that just makes me shit my pants.
No, it's the anger. We already figured this out.
That's true. That's true. I have been staying away from the angry
Social
pods too.
Social media.
Staying off Twitter. Haven't watched Man in the Arena. Just been staying away from the negative stuff lately.
Smart move. Smart move.
However, the holidays are coming. I'll be on the road, traveling and seeing family and in-laws. So I plan to shit my brains out.
Not a boy. Drink.
Just fucking rage.
Where's Rich? Well, he's angry. He's backed up from eating fast food. He'll be shitting for the next 2 hours if you need anything.
My new Twitter name is going to be Hops and Rage.
I love it.
Could be a superhero or a villain, super villain.
Yeah, Bill's going to hate that. Bill won't like that at all.
Bill doesn't like anything. Maybe that's why I'm in a better mood now, because I know that we can do the show without Bill. This is a classic two-man show with Dr. Big Mac and Ramblin' Rich. As I haven't had fast food in a couple days, 2 days since I've been off the road, and I feel fine. But I was drinking beer this afternoon.
So the floodgates were open.
Yeah. So.
Arrivederci.